Yo, this is it. I'm Mr. Faye, and you're listening to Attacking the Beats on IllMuzik.com. Well, before I get to the beats this week, we got 5 of them, as usual, and I'll do 5 reviews, of course. So, but before I get to that, there was a little bit of a mishap on the site the past few days. I was trying to make it so that it was more streamlined, a little simpler of a layout or whatever in the forums, but what ended up happening was it was taking its toll on the server, the way I'd set things up. So I'm not going to go into the details, but anyway, so it didn't turn out too great. So I ended up just saying, you know what, screw it. Then we just scrap it and go back to the old way, and it's fine. It's fine the way it is now. So that's all. But it's my mistake. All right. Okay. So next up, first up, we've got I don't know how to pronounce some of these names, man. Jaxi Raxi? I don't know. Jaxi Raxi with Daily Beat. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Jaxi Raxi with Daily Beat. Hope I pronounced that properly. And anyway, okay, so this beat, it's one of those where, it's the mix, really. I mean, that's the problem I have with this, because the drums are really on point. I really like that. They're really solid. Nice thickness to them, not overly compressed or whatever and like that. They're really, really dope. So the drum track is a real good bonus right there. The rest of the stuff, it's too bad because everything just sounds really, really good. Okay, little vocal snippets and this and that. But because of the bass line, and then when you do that low end part where you do like the muffled low pass part there, that plus the bass, it really distorts it. I can really hear it, But even then, overall, the whole mix, it's just very much in the red. So you got to keep an eye on that. I mean, I keep telling people that, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I still use Adobe Audition. Okay, so but I mean, any waveform editor, you can just check it and see. You see where the waveform is going, where it is. If you're just in the red, So I don't know. People just got to start using those more, I guess, and just paying attention, because there's no reason to go into the red. There's a reason why there's a meter there. So I suggest that people start using them. So, but anyway, no, it's because of the mix. That's what really takes away from this. But it's too bad, because the beat itself, it's really, really good. Especially those drums, they did a really good job on that shit. All right, so next up we've got Chuck Williams with Last Monday. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Chuck Williams last Monday. So this one, actually, I'm pretty sure I reviewed this already. I don't know if it was from this or it was one of the other competitions or whatever. Maybe Beat This or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it was here. If I'm not mistaken. Anyway, but I like this beat. It's really, really good. I like the choppy sample thing you got going and stuff. Usually I don't like that, but you did a good job with that. I mean, some samples, it's kind of like a DJ Premier type thing where, he's got a good sample he uses where it's like all these chops and all this stuff, but it actually just sounds good, So in your case, it really works for this beat. You do have to, scale back a bit on the kick because it is pretty heavy. And the other thing too is that because of that type of sample, it gets very, very repetitive. So that's one of the problems. I mean, even like for Primo, for example, right? I mean, the stuff just repeats a lot, So a beat like this is good. It's just that I would recommend if you to use this if you're going to use if you have vocals, for example, if you got a rapper on top of this is perfect then. Because but by itself though, it's hard to really hold up by itself when you have a beat that's just kind of looping over and over because it's just not really grabbing the listener's attention that much, but the beat itself, I like it. It's dope, and like I said though, is that you gotta pay attention with the kick. The mix is a little hot, so just keep an eye on that. But other than that, dope beat. All right, so next up we've got Coleslaw with Rooftop Cigars. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Coleslaw with Rooftop Cigars. So this is one of those beats where it's a nice tune, but it's definitely missing something. So I mean, I love piano. Piano sounds good. I like it. What you do with the piano is good. You get that low part of the piano and then a nice loop of the piano. So that's good. But the problem with something, especially like piano, is that it can be repetitive. So in this case, it is. But one of the things is, when I like to use piano is I like to add something like strings, for example, because that goes so well together, piano and strings. So if you can get some kind of strings, whether it be violin or cello or whatever, something like that, or some kind of orchestra thing or whatever, and have that, it could be just subtle in the background or just go along, with it. I don't know. Do something like that because it'll really bring out, the piano. Really, instead of just having the piano by itself, it just sounds so dry, especially when you use a piano that's not a sample. When it's a piano from, like, let's say a synth or whatever, it gets very, 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 very dry. So even if you do use something from the synth, you could, do that, but make sure you put some kind of effects on it, some kind of reverb or chorus or something, because otherwise it's just kind of just sitting there by itself. You know what I mean? And besides that, though, it's a nice lazy drum track. That's okay or whatever. But you're definitely missing a bass line. You need some bass there, because it's just, like I said, the fact that the piano is dry sounding, plus no bass line, then you got a really, really dry track. So that's what you need to do. You need to get some wetness there with the bass line, add some effects to that piano, and maybe add some strings. And that's it. That's all you got to do. But other than that, I like the beat. I like the piano. It's good stuff. All right, so next up, we've got Frontman Willie with March. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Frontman Willie with March. All right, so I really like the organ. That's some good stuff right there. I really like that. It just really flips things around, for hip hop especially, And it goes so well with the drums. Nice thick kick. The snare, I wouldn't have a snare that thick, let's say, but it does sound good. It does go well with the kick. And the one thing though is that I was just wishing I would hear more of that that string there you had, the strings you had on the left there, because you brought it in here and there, but I really wanted to hear a nice little part with just the strings coming in along with the organ or whatever. But really bring that in, because that would really bring this beat up, I find. So try to bring in something, try to bring more of the strings in, because I just find without it, you're just focusing on the organ a little too much. Which sounds great though, but I would just bring in more of those strings, because they just sound nice. They sound really good, especially with the organ and everything. So do that. The bass line was good because you didn't have it all the way through. It was just it just complemented everything, so that was good. I like that. But like I said, do something with those strings, man. Bring them in a little more, because I would love to hear more of that shit. All right, so next up we've got the last beat. It's Mangarosa Beats with Recreation. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Mango Roasted Beats, recreation, whatever. All right, so this one right off the bat though, it's a distortion, man. You gotta fix that because right away I could hear that stuff. I mean, you get the loud kick and snare, and then the bass, and the bass sounds really nice. I like it, but it's just that the levels you have in your mix, man, it's just very, very much in the red. So you gotta fix that part. Now the actual beat itself, though, I do like it. I love that string sample you have coming in and out. That's really good. I'm not a big fan of sped up vocals, and the thing is, because sped up vocals though, it's even though they work, I think that if you're gonna use sped up vocals, I would use them just very, very sparingly. The reason why is because there's really no need to have sped up vocals. I know that was kind of a style back in the day, but back maybe in the early 2000s or something, but there's really no need for it because especially with all the technology today, you can really chop up a regular vocal snippet and just do a lot of stuff with it, so you don't really have to have something sped up. I mean, I think what it was back in the day, producers would take a sample and try to fit it into a loop so they'd speed it up. I don't think it was really meant to be like that on purpose or whatever, but anyway, I mean, some people prefer it, some people like it, I don't know. But I just think that more could be done with the vocal snippet rather than just speed it up or something. I mean, it would sound so much nicer if you have this nice soul vocal, let's say, over your beat rather than just something sped up. But other than that, though, like I said, I like the sample you use. I like the bass line. I just think you need to work on the distortion of the mix, and maybe. If it's something you want to explore, is to do something with the vocal snippet and make it so it's not just all sped up or whatever. So that's it. Dope beat though. All right, so that's it for me. I'm Mr. Fade. This is Attack of the Beats. Keep sending the beats in. I'll keep reviewing them. And my favorite beat this week is, the winner is, drumroll please, Frontman Willie with March. Let's check it out.